Chill there, H+III+T to boot that dang on time. I'm really disgusted with myself, but the kid is actually listening to Scorpio. What happened to Seven Man, Young Seven Man? I can't give you an answer to that, but that's not even there. Today's video, squats, is going to be a little bit more... It's going to be about a broader topic than just specifically the Knicks. Today, we are discussing the Houston Rockets, gosh dang. I know that I am a Knicks channel, but just keep in mind, this is from the perspective of a New York Knicks channel. It's just this particular topic has just been extremely fascinating to me, and I wanted to run it by you to get y'all's general thoughts on it because I've been obsessing over it quite a bit. But before this video officially begins, I want to say shout out to the good people at SeverTheBond Plus, gosh dang it. Y'all are the ones making all this possible, because with the day on Rudy, the kid's getting a little low on funds, so I appreciate y'all helping me out, gosh dang, especially because there's no live stream, so I feel like this is a form of donation, so I appreciate that, gosh dang it. So let's talk about the Houston Rockets for just a quick second. Now again, if you are a Houston Rockets fan, please keep in mind I am a salty Knicks fan, so if I seem a little bit jaded or a little bit biased, it's because I hate everyone that's not in a New York uniform. But, well, let me specify that, not in a New York Knicks uniform. Let me specify that because fuck Kyrie, but that's not even there. The Rockets are taking the dang on small ball lineup Hampton 5 of death from Golden State, and they flipped it into something a little bit more fascinating. Mike D'Antoni has always been seen as this abstract genius that will take general norms from the NBA and kick it up to the 1700 power. They said that about Hornacek too, but I didn't really see anything with that other than he likes to play 100 guards at the same time. But with Mike D'Antoni, they credit this man as an offensive genius. I didn't see any of that when he was on the Knicks, but again, salty Knicks fan, excuse my pettiness. What the Houston Rockets have been doing this entire, well, not this entire season, but a good bit of this season, is with Clint Capella having the various injuries that he had and such, the Rockets moved over to this whole small ball lineup, but not just on the offensive side, on the defensive side. They went as far as to get rid of Clint Capella, send that man over to the Hawks, so that the Rockets could just legitimately have small dudes out there the entire time. We're talking about they got PJ Tucker at center. Now, we got a little taste of that no Tyga, and we were unable to handle it for some reason, which I'm pretty sure we lost that game. I feel like that's the one that we lost, but that's not even there. People have been just shitting on it heavily, talking all this trash. But I want to do a little bit of a deep dive because I find it very fascinating and I feel like it could work. Now, their general idea on offense, which I'll give Mike D'Antoni a little bit of credit for, is they've got like the floor completely spaced out. And I'm not just going to leave it at that and say, oh, they spaced out the floor, and not give you any further details because I'm not an asshat. I'm going to actually break it down for you guys. So, I'm going to break it down for you guys. We're going to do like no MJ days. But listen, they got this whole shenanigans like to a science. They got 4 players like right here along the three-point arc. They got a homie right here on the three-point arc. They got a homie right here and right here. So it's all along the general arc. You got somebody taking the ball down the court. That could be Harden. That could be Russ. I mean, they've got basically a bunch of guards and small forwards out there, so they can just literally pick. It doesn't really matter. People like to harp on Westbrook, but it doesn't matter who it is. You got somebody coming down the court, bringing the ball down the court, right? You've got folks posted up literally every possible angle. So when you drive in, your center most likely is not going to be standing in the paint because everybody, which Westbrook too, but we'll get to that in a quick second. Everyone out there who is standing along the three-point arc is a three-point threat. So you don't just want to leave them open. So your center, 9 times out of 10, is going to be outside of the paint. Outside of the paint, and if they dare try to close on whoever is trying to drive in on the offensive side, you can easily kick it out to an open shooter. So everyone else is out. So we're talking about whoever has to bring the ball down the court just has to get past one person. And I don't know that many guards playing that lockdown D. Now, here go the motherfuckers in the back. Who's afraid of the kid? Shut up! No one asked y'all. So I don't know that many guards that's going to be able to stop a Harden or Westbrook or an Eric Gordon or something like that from getting over to the basket. So once they beat their first man, unless they're trying to just give up an open layup, so that's your two, that's your easy two, someone else is going to have to come in. Someone's going to have to leave their man and come in. So whoever is the one that's driving can kick out over to a three-point shooter for an easy shot. But young seven man, Westbrook can't shoot no threes. You know what he can do though? You give that man a running start from anywhere along the three-point arc, he going yamming on you. He going yamming on you. So you cannot leave any of them open. That's offensively. Interesting strategy if you're playing pickup ball at your local gym, which none of us is doing at the moment, but eventually you can probably use this to your advantage because the chances of you being out there with really tall people is very low. We're all around the general height. You're either on the shorter end like me, you're 5'5", 5'6", or you're like barely 6 foot or something like that. So everything is small ball when you're playing general pickup ball at the park or the Y or wherever it is you play. So you can use that offensively yourself. Here's where things get tricky on the defensive end. And I've watched about 4 Rockets games in full since the pandemic started. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I've been studying the Rockets this whole time. Ever since games ended, I said, oh boy, it's my chance. Defensively is where people seem to have the most concern, if you will. Offensively, yes, you have to guard everyone. So there's going to be mismatches everywhere and all that shenanigans, right? Defensively, you have to ask yourself, how is PJ Tucker going to stop a DeMarcus Cousins? Assuming he's healthy. How is Robert Covington and them going to stop a Blake Griffin or something like that? Assuming they're healthy. Right? How is Eric Gordon going to stop Giannis or stop LaMarcus Aldridge or something like that, right? This is where I throw in my personal ideals. I do not have a legitimate answer for it, and they've been catching a lot of teams off guard, and people are so post-happy that they're throwing up stupid Carmelo fadeaways in the post where all they have to do is just dump the ball down. They don't even need a pick and roll. Just look for someone to go to the basket. But what the Rockets have been doing in the regular season is they're using willpower. Now, this is where my take gets a little bit more unique away from everyone else. The Rockets are using willpower. What I mean by that, when you step onto a court, it doesn't matter what flavor of game we're playing, what type of division, what your difficulty level in real life is. If you go onto the court saying, I'm trash, I'm not better than the dude or girl who's in front of me, or other, who's in front of me, you're going to lose. If you're realistically tall enough and you have the ups and you're telling yourself, I can't dunk, you're not going to dunk. If you're at the free throw line saying, I'm going to miss this shot, you're going to miss this shot. Now, I'm the last person who believes in putting something into the universe and it comes true. I don't believe in any of that. But I do believe that your reality is what's the most important. So if you are telling yourself you cannot do something, chances are you're not going to be able to do it. But if you have PJ Tucker trying to put the clamps on Anthony Davis, I'm seeing a lot of instances where PJ Tucker is saying, you're not going to score on me. I'm going to steal the ball from you. I'm going to get a charge. I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's pure willpower that is getting them past some of these elite teams that are a whole lot bigger than them. Now that's fascinating for the regular season and how long it was they were able to pull this off. They were able to pull this off and have a semi-successful record for the good part of about 2 months, right before the Rudy spread everywhere. So what everyone was curious about is you can catch people off guard in the regular season, just like how the Rockets do by hoisting up and launching all those threes. But when you get into a 7-game series or however long it goes, where you're going against one person, you have a scouting report for that specific team for about 2 weeks or a week and a half or however long the series goes, is that going to be able to work? Can you do that for multiple games against someone who is aware of what it is you're going to do? That's like if you play the same person in maybe like, it doesn't matter what the game is. It could be 21, it could be 5v5, it could be 2v2, whatever it is you're playing. If you play against the same people enough times, they're going to understand how it is you play. Me personally, I don't really have much of a jump shot, so I just kind of drive left basically every time. I might hit a floater, I might hit you with a Euro every now and again, but if you know me and you've played against me, you know exactly what I'm going to do when I get the ball. Now, are you going to be able to stop it? That's a completely different story. But as far as being able to scout and plan for how to stop me, you know what I'm going to do. It's the same thing for if you're playing against a team in the playoffs. Defensively, if you know the Rockets are just trying really hard on defense, is that going to be able to stop a team from scoring? And is the whole ideology of we're just going to score more than you, will that work in a series? We were unfortunately robbed of that answer, but I'm so fascinated by the idea of it. And even though I don't want the season to come back because I think people just need to relax and just be safe, part of me wants us to just skip to the playoffs so I can see how the Rockets fare. Because if the Rockets are able to get past the first round, think about that. Think about that. I think the Rockets were like 5th or 4th or something like that, so they'd end up playing, like the Jazz or something, or the OKC maybe ironically. Like, if they are able to get past any team in the first round, Mike D'Antoni has just figured out the future of the league. That's not a talking point. That's not like some voice clip that I want to be echoed in every promotional video from now on if they win a championship. I'm talking about Mike D'Antoni might have fucked around and just figured out the future of the league. If this works, if they can get past one team in a 7-game series, whether they take it to 4 games, 5 games, 6 or 7, if they are able to get past someone in the playoffs, we got to really look into what's going on. As a Knicks fan, I love Mitchell Robinson. I think he's great. A lot of people think Elfrid Payton is my favorite Knick. It's Mitchell. Love Mitchell Robinson. I love what he brings. I love the idea of having the old combo of a Derrick Rose and a Joakim Noah. You know, get you a Kobe and a Shaq. Find a guard, find a really tall dude or a chick and a really tall chick or something like that. Have that type of tandem combination. It's the perfect balance. Y'all know the type of team I wanted a couple years ago. Trey Burke, insert shooting guard here. Kawhi, insert forward here, Enes Kanter. That's what I wanted. That type of balance. But the Houston Rockets might really be onto something. Because offensively, I feel like that strategy is unbeatable. You double anyone, it's over. I love that strategy. But defensively, if there is something to willpower and motivation, I'm going to get psychological on y'all, but if there is something to that, Mike D'Antoni might be a goddamn genius. Like, comment, subscribe, H+III+T. So now the Triple OG putting as much work as me. Do me a favor, point him out. I know this is a different kind of a video, but I don't just want to do Knicks videos over and 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 over, because this is going to be an extended off season for us. So I don't want to just continuously make the same general videos over and over again. So every now and again, I'm going to sprinkle just a general NBA video, because I do be looking at other teams and I do be looking at other situations and players, and I find a couple things fascinating, and I just want to put my thoughts out there, because it's way better than having the same 2K gamers get out there and say, does Derrick Rose deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Fuck out of here. Anyway, I'll see y'all Tuesday. And if you're subscribed to any of my other channels or on SeverTheBond Plus, I'll see you shortly. If you're on my third channel, I'll see you in a little bit. Agaga, agaga, agaga. Agaga, agaga, agaga.